going to have orientation on our BSM parenting program, and our parenting elders are mostly some of our staff here in Destiny City Church are joining us. Okay, so that this is an orientation for both students and parenting elders so that we can all be in the same page. So as we start tonight, students, I want you first to express to me if you are comfortable working with someone helping you and guiding you to experience deliverance and change. So go to the current class chat channel, and please, I want you to express it because being under a parenting program, that means you will have to trust somebody. And we assure you that we will hold in strict confidentiality whatever you share to your parenting teacher or elder. Okay, so I wanted first of all to know if you are comfortable with that. Okay, so just type in there. Okay, so far, yes, yes. Yes, this is very important that we know that you are comfortable doing this. We don't want you to feel that somebody is intruding into your private life. We don't want you to feel in any way that we are forcing you to open up your life to us, But in this parenting program, it should be according to how comfortable you would be in sharing your life. And our parenting elders are instructed, and we are here listening tonight, that they have to keep uh, to observe confidentiality in whatever they're going to share. You are going to share as a student to them. And so among us, staff or parenting elders, we are not even to talk about you unless, of course, you express that you need more help. And some of your parenting elders actually will refer your case to me and to Pastor Ray. Or if you want another person or among us in the pastoral staff that you feel you would like to talk to, because you're more comfortable with that person. So we will do that. So thank you for expressing that you are willing to be assisted by a parenting elder. Okay, thank you for that, students. So you remember when we started with Berean training, one of the Berean quotes that we said was, God will accept you as you are, but He will not let you stay as you are. And then you have finished your course with Pastor Ray. You remember about the strongholds and deliverance and becoming stronger than the strong man, where the devil starts early in our lives, and he plants seeds of wickedness in our lives early. And if those are not uprooted, okay, and we are not set free from those work of the enemy somehow, because he plans to destroy us so that we will not pursue the will of God in our lives. And so we grow up, and then even after we are saved and becoming Christians, if those seeds of wickedness are not uprooted, sometimes we are not any more conscious because it has been there for many years. That these actually have caused us to be, cause some areas of defeat in our lives. And so that's one thing that we have also to address. And also, you have just learned from Mom Helen Bates. You remember where she emphasized that there are some threads, like the threads or the cobwebs of a spider that try to trap us and entangle us. And some of those threads are just simple and weak, but sometimes the threads are so many and has been reinforced through the years, and we need help to be set free. And so with all that now in your previous learnings, it is timely now for us to start our parenting program. So let's start with our orientation. You just stay in the current chat channel if you want. So if you want to type in some relevant questions, just type them there. Okay? This is just an orientation. The BSM parenting program revised for virtual setting. The parenting program is a major tool of Berean School of Ministry to the students' spiritual and character development. He said that BSM, is not only concerned with your academic training and not only concerned about your ministerial training, but we are also concerned about your progress in your spiritual and character development. Because we say that the secret of the ministry is the minister. And so the Destiny City Church elders and some selected mature lay leaders or BSM alumni will serve as parenting elders. And each student is assigned to a parenting elder. I am still finishing the assignments because I'm trying to match, you with your parenting elder. Okay, so by tomorrow you would know who would be your parenting elder, and you're going to have your initial meeting tomorrow night. Now, in this parenting program, we have, as I have edited it, this is for the reminder, as a reminder to our parenting elders. Edited and simplified our parenting activities. So we only have 3 here. Firstly are the parenting sessions. And we will schedule this at least bi-monthly. So if every 2 months, you're going to sit down and have a session in a virtual setting, of course, with your parenting elder. If your situation needs that you have to meet with your parenting elder more, then you can make that arrangement. Secondly is your student's report, and we entitled this My Progress Towards Change, because this is going to be a cooperative effort. So as a student, you have to make also a regular feedback or report to your parenting elder as to the progress that you are having towards the change that you want to happen in your life. So students will have to be ready with a standard report form to be completed before a scheduled parenting session. The progress report will help him and the parenting elder see in concrete form his progress of change. You know that if you really have identified something specifically happening in your life, then you can put it into writing. So that's how you can make it into a report. Yes, there is a question as of now. If one is not comfortable with the parent, is there a chance or a permission to ask to change the parent? Yes, sure. Okay, yes, sure. We will have a chance to do that. In fact, you can suggest, you can request. Okay? That's okay. I hope that will make you happy about that. All right. So we have the student's progress towards change. As I was saying, if you know it really that it is happening in your life, then you can put it to writing. The usual thing among us Filipinos is if you're being asked, how are you? Oh, you say, oh, I'm okay. But what does it mean that you are okay? So if I say, do you think you're growing in your relationship with God? And then you say, yes, I am. But in what specific way? Okay. So you remember that learning is change, and learning is change in specific areas in your life to some specific truth. And so learning to be really a real learning should be something that you're able to write down. That's the reason for the reporting. Just like, when we ask you to give insights, why we're asking you to make insight is because you can write down what exactly is really happening or becoming meaningful in your life. Okay, another question here. Mom, is it male to male or female to female pairing? Definitely it's male to male and female to female. Okay? So, just take note of your questions later on. Let me move on now to the next item in our slide here. So we have the parenting sessions, and then we have the students' report, and then the special counseling session. Your students can make appointment with parenting elder for an additional personal counseling, because I have said you're going to meet only bi-monthly, but you can request for more counseling sessions. And the parenting elder may refer to the student to another Destiny City Church elder if necessary. Counseling of a student with fellow student is prohibited. Of course, you can talk to one another, but about counseling another student, counseling another one, we prohibit that in relation to parenting. Okay, let's move on. So those are just the three activities. You're going to have a bi-monthly parenting session, and you're going to have your progress report, and if needed, you're going to have some additional counseling session. So what is the scheme in our parenting program? So the following describe the parenting scheme to be observed by the parenting elder. The first one is profiling. Now, this is based on the profile submitted by the student at the start of the year. When you enroll, you made application to study to be accepted in Berean, one of the forms we ask you is your personal testimony and, some data forms, and you have filled that up. It's actually your profile. Okay, some data about you, about your family, about your testimony, what you are in the past, and how the Lord have changed you. So that is your profile that you have submitted to us. So your parenting elder will look into that profile and firstly to get acquainted, to have a general picture of who you are. We said always that we are like raw material in the hands of God to be processed into a finished product. So the parenting elder will also acquaint the student about him. Testifying about his own experience of deliverance will be proper and helpful in building trust. So tomorrow, students and parenting elders, it will be profiling time. The profiles of the students will be given to you by Jean tomorrow morning. And then you try to acquaint yourself with the student. And in the session, it would also be proper for you as a parenting elder to make yourself known to your students assigned to you. And have, a very quick, a brief, but a very concise, but very meaningful testimony that you as well have been through the process of being parented towards some change. You have to understand, students, that all our staff here in Destiny City Church are all Berean alumni, and they also have gone through the parenting program and have gone through, the experience of being brought into freedom, because God is the one who sets us free. And then the second aspect of profiling is, to discern or identify possible problem areas. This could be strongholds. You already understood that. That could be hindrances or potential source of defeat and ineffectiveness in the student's personal and ministerial life. I don't have to explain this again, but you understand that, even sometimes we have already become an adult and have been even in the ministry for years. Because the devil's strategy is to isolate us and to keep us, uh, keeping to ourselves some areas in our lives that we know we are struggling with. So, from the profile that you submit, your parenting elder will help you identify some possible problem areas so that these possible problem areas can be addressed. Otherwise, they can be potential source of defeat and ineffectiveness in your personal life and ministerial life. And so, the third part of profiling is confirming and clarifying. So, your parenting elder will look into your profile and make some observations, some notifications of what could be the possible problem areas in your life, but they need you to confirm that. Okay? Your parenting elder will not force into you something according to his own thinking or suspicion, yes, you might say. So, he will just make some study or make some speculations that could be some of your problem area. But tomorrow, when you sit down, you talk. And by an interview, what the written profile revealed during the first parenting session. So the parenting elder will confirm with you, or you will confirm with your parenting elder, or clarify, you say, yes, I believe that is a problem area in my life. It's because this is just a parenting program. This is not forcing something into you. Okay? So the parenting elder will acquaint himself with you, and you also be acquainted with who is your parenting elder. And then your parenting elder, from your profile that you submitted, will try to discern some possible problem areas. But you, tomorrow in your session, you have to confirm or clarify that so that you can come to a point with, yes, mom, yes, sir, I think that is a problem area in my life. Okay, so it is something that is not forced into you, but it is something, that you also see as a problem area in your life. Okay, so that is what is involved in profiling. The second one, once, we have established what, the problem area is the directing the chains. Remember here that the role of the parenting elder is simply to guide and direct the student towards change that should happen in his life. The parenting elder should never dictate or impose anything on the student. So we are just here to guide you. So it's you actually that is doing the journey, but the parenting elder will just guide you. So these are the things that should be happening. It's acknowledgement and confession. Here the parenting elder will be leading the students to realize and admit the identified problem areas and make willing confessions of them to God. It is important that the students see their need to change. And we guarantee them that God accepts them as they are, but will not allow them to stay as they are. The second one here is uprooting. Here, in your sharing and the interview, the parenting elder will help you in identifying the most likely root of the problem that are identified, area identified. Okay? This should be problem area identified. Prayer of uprooting the evil seeds of the enemy should follow. In some cases, this may need extra sessions. What you normally do, after you identify your problem area, say, wow, probably your parenting elder will say, to what do you think can you trace back that problem area? Has a traumatic experience happened to you in the past? What has been your upbringing that has caused you to have a problem in that area? Say, problem of submission. And so you begin to recall and say, it could be related to that experience. And then we will pray with you. Okay? That, somehow if that is the root of your problem area, that somehow in that past event in your life, the enemy has planted some wicked seeds or some wrong ideas or vows in your mind, and those needs to be uprooted. Your parenting elder will be like a witness to your confession, and the one who truly uproots those wicked seeds in your life planted by the enemy when you were young and helpless and defenseless is the Lord. And then the third part of directing change is initiating. This is leading students to draw up action steps or new behavior patterns to reverse the identified problem area in your life. So you have identified the problem area, you acknowledge it, you made confessions to God for forgiveness, you have uprooted whatever the enemy has planted in your life in the past, and now you are ready to plot the journey towards your change. And your parenting elder will just lead you in drawing up action steps. Now that you know that is a problem area in your life, and now that you know that you have the wrong responses to situations, what now do you plan to do? Okay, so this is directing change. It is you that, with the help of your parenting elder, that will identify the problem area. It is you that you will see that the root of that, and with God's help and with your parenting elder helping you in prayer, at witnessing your confessions and joining you in believing God to set you free, then after that, that God wants to start you in the journey towards change and freedom. And so you will also begin to draw up what would be the new patterns of behavior that you will adopt to reverse the identified problem areas in your lives. Let me check first. So how are you now? Are you getting this, what I'm trying to share, students? Are you comfortable with these steps that will be done with your parenting elder? Okay. Yeah, let me see your responses. Directing change. Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm excited. Hurrah. Okay, you see, we are in this together. Thank you then. I just want to know that you are comfortable in this. Praise the Lord. That's good. Yes. All right. Now, the third, in the scheme of the BSM parenting scheme is refining. Okay. First we had profiling, and then directing change, and then now it is refining. The third step is refining. Here, it is assisting the students in his progress in building the new patterns of behavior. So the student at this time must be ready with a progress report before a refining session. So what is going to happen in the refining session? And this will be starting with your session 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Okay. So after session 1, which is profiling and directing change, the next time you meet will be refining, where it will be the evaluation and the evaluation of your progress, because in the first session you make plans what action steps that you will do to build new behavior patterns. So here in the refining sessions, you'll be assisted in your progress in building these new patterns of behavior. So this is what is going to happen during these refining sessions. The parenting elder will evaluate your student's progress based on information on your student's progress report. And then you will have time to talk. Your parenting elder will listen to you. So you have to time to talk, testify what happened to you from the first time that you identified a problem area in your life and you confessed it, and ask God to set you free and uproot the seeds of wickedness of the enemy. Then you committed to start building new patterns. Okay, so you have to verbalize what is happening to you. So it will be time of listening as you testify of your experiences of growth, of victories, and how you as a student have overcome that problem area in your life. Thirdly, then the parenting elder will address some needs. Perhaps you say, wow, I think I still have some weak areas. I wasn't really that victorious. Or any difficulties that you have encountered, or any new problem area that you have identified. It's always to start with victories. And then if there had been some problems still that has to be addressed, then that's the time that you go to that. So after this, the next thing that should happen in your refining session is your parenting elder will guide you to draw up the next steps. Okay. So what now? You have, these victories, but you still have these problems or new problem areas identified. What will be now your next steps? So again, it always ends up, with you making a decision what you will do, okay, to build these new behavior patterns, to be stronger, in these new behavior patterns, and to be journey towards your total freedom in Christ and towards your chains. Okay, so that's refining. So those are just the 3 parenting scheme. And the next thing that we will do is recording. We need to record these things. As I have said, we're going to have some reports. This will be a recording, and the records are to be kept confidential by the parenting elders. Okay? They have to keep this and are not to share with others whatever you have shared with your parenting elder. Okay? Now, there are 2 reports here. The first one is the parenting elder's record. The parenting elder will have a record booklet for each student. And the title of this is The Student's Progress Towards Change. And for the parenting elders, I already have uploaded the booklet in our staff and teachers channel, and you just download it and print it enough copies according to the number of students assigned to you. Now, if you are here in Destiny City Church, you can actually ask, a printed copy from the office. That is, you can just download them yourself. So parenting elders should keep record of results of parenting sessions, but should keep them in strict confidentiality. What is the content of this parenting elders record? The first session, this is for the purpose of profiling and directing change. The content of the record will include this: notable points from the profile, results of interview and sharing during parenting session. And this is, take note only as much as the student is comfortable to share. Okay? And then areas identified and acknowledged by the student where he needs change. Identified roots of problem areas and uprooting and cutting prayer ministry done. And action plan towards change. New patterns to build and action steps. Okay, so those are in the pages of the record of the parenting elder. For the next sessions, after the initial session of profiling and directing change, you will have the next sessions will be for the purpose of refining. And this will be the content of the record of the progress of the student. Progress of change in identified areas based on student's progress report. Victory points as specified by the student. Weak areas and difficulties encountered. Any new problem areas identified. And the next steps the student commit to do. And also put there the focus of your prayer ministry for the students. So that's the parenting elders record. The record of the student, okay? The student's record is actually a report form, and it is entitled My Journey Towards Change. And the content of this report is how I rate my progress in change in my identified areas of life. How well did I fulfill the action steps I committed to do? Okay. And then testimony or evidences of growth, victories, like particular incidences that you can cite, and what I did to be victorious. Another one is my weak area and difficulties encountered, new problem area identified, and what I plan and commit to do next. Now, so students, you have to prepare this My Journey Towards Jane's report, okay? Every time you will have a parenting session, because that will be the basis of the session, the items that whatever you report or you report to your parenting elder, that will also be the basis, of the effort of your parenting elder in guiding you towards your journey of change. So that's actually all that we have. Now, I also have included here the catalog of the strongholds, because it is easier if you can put exact words or to describe your problem areas. And I believe you have taken this up with Pastor Ray, but I just included it here, and I'm going to upload this also to in our lecture notes channel, the catalog of strongholds, so that when you describe your problem areas, you use the terms that we are using here in the catalog of strongholds. So these are your reference in identifying problem areas. Okay, so you learned that our strongholds have their shapes. Okay? Strongholds manifest in our lives are better understood when we see them as having shapes, just like, what is said in Isaiah 43:5, it's like, it is like every valley or like a mountain or a hill or a rugged place, that when a highway is going to be built, and our lives are like that, there are valleys, there are mountains, there are rugged parts, and there are rough roads, okay, but all of that have to be flattened so that a highway is made ready for the Lord, and the King of Glory will come in, and our lives will be like a smooth instrument in the hands of God. And so you remember this? Our strongholds can be mountain-shaped, like pride, rebellion, unteachableness, superiority, anger, need to control. Or it can be in the form of a valley, which is rejection, self-pity, critical withdrawal, guilt and shame, loss of emotional feeling, oversensitiveness. Or it can be rough, which is unfaithfulness or inconsistent, the up and down and the up and down. Or it can be rugged or crooked, which is like, example of which are immorality or addiction to sin and wickedness. And so these are the shapes of your strongholds. So it could be that your strongholds are mountain shape or valley shape or rugged road or a rough road. And so the next parts here are the descriptions, okay, of all those specific strongholds under the 4 shapes. So I have placed here the description so that when you begin to prayerfully identify your problem areas in life, that you can give a name to it or a term, okay? It's being super sensitive or overreacting, and this is the description. If you can see it here, this is what you have. These are the problem areas in your life, or anger or frustration or fits of anger. You have strong feelings of certain rights. So Or it could be fear, worry, or anxiety, or insecurity. When you are a worrisome person, you seem to worry about everything. So you use these terms to describe your problem areas. Okay? Like self-pity, or guilt and shame, or loss of emotional feeling. Can be rebellion, where you are resentful of any form of control. Or it can be an addiction to sin, or need to control or possess and dominate. Or it can be stubbornness, or critical and judgmental spirit. So these are, the terms or how you're gonna label your problem areas in your life. So right now there are some questions here. Let me answer your questions. Do we have forms to download? Okay. Yes, actually your report form is very brief. As you have noticed here, if I may go back, Doc, here your the student's report form is my journey towards change is simply this. It's a brief report form. If you want, I can make a form for which to fill up, but you can just actually write this down according to the items listed here, and that is what you're going to share to your parenting elder. Okay, but all of these, my notes, I'm gonna upload this lecture notes chat channel. Good that you have expressed your willingness to be helped, because we are in this together, students. What we have actually is that you will become, a more effective vessel in the hands of God, that you will have victory in your life. And, being set free will not only affect your life as a student, but in your relationships with your family, with your spouse, with your children, with your friends. We know that the devil, as in your course with Mom Helen, comes to steal, to destroy us, but Jesus comes to give us abundant life, right? And so I want to end with this picture with you tonight. Shall we say this again? Our Berean quote. Okay. Says here, God will accept you as you are, but will not let you stay as you are. It's like every one of us have some kind of dark past, a messy past. It's not a beautiful life. But if you are willing, God is going to turn a new page in your life. He is the God who changes lives, the God who sets us free. Why? Because we were created in His image for His purpose, but the enemy tried to destroy us. And as a result, we are not victorious, we are not happy, we are not effective in the hands of God. But as God turns a new page in our life, change us, we are out there to become more effective in the hands of God.